Unexpected Attraction by Tales Lover, Chapter 1. I don't really know what makes him so dang dreamy, with the way he treats me and others sometimes. I don't know why the heck I even want him, but I do. That ebony hedgehog stole my heart the minute I met him. I don't think he feels the same way about me, though, and that's why I've never even come close to acting like I love him. Should I tell him soon? Should I tell him at all? My conscience says yes. My heart says yes. My brain says yes. My body says yes, but I'm still not sure. We defeated Dr. Eggman earlier today and stopped him from messing up the past. He had stopped my birthday party, but after we had defeated him, we were dropped right back there. Originally, Shadow hadn't shown up to my party, but he appeared back with us when we arrived back. Rouge had somehow convinced him to stay, and he half seemed to want to. Maybe his feelings toward me were changing. I had absolutely no clue. He and I barely talked during the party, and afterwards, when we had all gone to my and Tails' house, we didn't talk either. Luck would have it that Shadow and I happened to be the last people at the house. Tails had left for an errand, and everyone else had gone home. Whether that luck is good or bad remains to be seen, but I can't help but think this is my chance. I need to tell him how I feel, because otherwise I may not get another chance. So, I say, after a couple minutes of silence, Shadow, even you have to admit that I did awesome today. The black hedgehog, sitting next to me on the couch, shrugs his shoulders and closes his eyes for half a second. I guess so, Faker. I must admit that I wouldn't measure up to 2 Sonics. 1, yes, but 2 is a bit much. Wait. Did he actually admit that I did a good job? That's not like him at all. It usually takes a lot more than me to convince him that I did a good job. I raise an eyebrow at his odd behavior and ask, You okay, Shads? You do realize that you just complimented me, right? Are you sick or something? He chuckles at my question. Don't be stupid, Blue Boy. I'm the ultimate life form. I cannot get ill. I figured that after all this time, you finally deserve at least some kind of praise from me. He pauses for a quick moment before continuing. Do you want to know something interesting, Sonic? Not only is it your birthday today, but mine as well. Due to my suspended animation on Prison Island, I happen to turn 16 today. It's Shadow's birthday? I never knew. Whoa! Well then, happy B-Day, Shadsy. Oh God, did I just call him Shadsy out loud? Crap. I cover my mouth, but he just chuckles. Shadsy, huh? Well, that's an interesting nickname. When did you come up with that name? And why, pray tell? Well, this is sure an awkward moment. I have absolutely no idea what to say without risking rejection right here and now. No reason in particular, I reply nervously. He sighs and shakes his head. Now why would you lie to me, Sonic? If you obviously love me so much. Holy crap. He knows? I start sweating out of nervousness. I don't even know how he knows. That was the only thing I ever did to even slightly show that I like him. He puts a gloved finger up to my mouth to shush me and says, At a loss for words, are we? Don't worry. With what I'm about to do, you won't need to speak. He lifts his finger off my lips, and I'm about to say something, but instead he gently presses his own lips against mine. That's probably the only gentle thing he's done to me, but nonetheless feels Oh, amazing. This is my first kiss ever, and yet it feels so remarkable. I wrap my arms around his neck, and he does the same around my torso. Sonic, I'm home, and Oh, Tails, why now? Shadow and I break away from the kiss abruptly, and stop hugging each other. This was a bad time for me to barge in, wasn't it? He asks nervously. Shadow gets up and says, I have to get going. See you later, Sonic. He walks out the door, and I face Tails with an angry look on my face. I'm sorry, he responds to that look. If I'd have known, I wouldn't have come right in. He doesn't seem mad that I was kissing Shadow. In fact, I think he actually looks relieved. Why do you look so calm, Tails? I ask him. I was just kissing a guy. He shrugs and walks into the kitchen, where he starts putting away the groceries. Why exactly does that matter? He asks in reply. I've known you were gay, or at least bisexual, this whole time. I could see the way you looked at me when we first met. And I could also see the way you looked at him. I'm just glad you finally overcame your fear of telling him how you feel. So, you're seriously not mad? I asked him concernedly. 'Cause if you are, I get it. He puts a gallon of milk away in the fridge and faces me. I am a little peeved, but not because of that. I'm peeved because you wouldn't tell me of all people something like that. I'm your little brother, Sonic. You do realize that it would have been a whole lot easier for you if you had just told me you were gay in the first place, right? Ugh, gay. I hate that label because really I'm not completely gay. Bisexual, I correct impulsively. Sorry, he apologizes. But I could have helped you realize that this isn't a bad thing a lot sooner. Then he realizes something, and I think that if he had any visible skin on his face, he'd look as pale as a ghost. Oh God, what's Amy gonna think? Even worse, what's she gonna do to Shadow if she thinks he stole you from her? I don't want to be around when she finds out. Got this feeling she's not gonna be too happy. He's right. What is Amy going to do? That girl is the only person on all of Mobius that can scare me so. That hammer of hers is gonna come straight down on all of our heads, I just know it. Well, I start. Just don't tell her. In fact, don't tell anyone for the time being. Please, I'm pretty sure Shadow will keep it on the download too. If people found out their hero was bi, well, I'm not sure what they'd think, you know what I mean? Wait, did I just say please? I never say please. I really am desperate here. I can trust you to keep a secret, right, big guy? Wow, I'm really desperate. Tails sighs. Alright, Sonic, since you're actually asking for once, I'll keep it a secret until you're ready. Thank goodness. I let out a large yawn. I really exhausted myself today. After all, who wouldn't get exhausted from defeating a giant time-traveling entity? Then again, it's all in a day's work for Sonic the Hedgehog. Man, I just can't help but think of Shadzy right now. Oh, he's just so... I don't really have a word to describe exactly what he is. I just keep thinking about him. Sonic! Hello? Mobius the Sonic, you still in there? Tails is waving his gloved hand right in front of my face. Yeah, I stutter. The confused fox raises an eyebrow. Are you daydreaming? Since when do you daydream? Gosh, you're more attracted to him than I thought. Sorry, Tails, I say. She's just so sexy, though. I mumble under my breath. Tails heard me. Shandy? He asks while smiling nervously. You already have a pet name for him? It'll definitely take me a while to get used to all this. If this were an anime, I could so see his sweat dropping right now. He looks at the stove. It's 11:12, Sonic. We've both had a very long day. We should get to bed. I nod, and we both walk upstairs. When we're outside Tails' room, he hugs me. Happy 16th birthday, Sonic. I just have to say this now. I never forget anyone's birthday. And Shadow, I add. It's Shadow's 16th birthday, too. Tails looks at me confusedly. When did he tell us this? I shake my head. He didn't tell you anything, he told me while you were out. But either way, thanks for an awesome birthday party, pal. He smiles at me and replies, You're welcome. Good night, Sonic. He walks into his room. Night, Tails. I walk over and into my room as well. When I'm in there, I start fantasizing about Shadzy again. I am obsessed with that black hedgehog. If he treats me with such disrespect sometimes, then why am I falling for him? He is a mystery to me, and I to myself most of the time. Oh well, I need to sleep. It's not as if being with Shadow will be any fun if I'm tired. I crawl into bed and fall asleep. My dreams, you ask? Let's just say that these dreams are about Shadow, and they aren't exactly appropriate, if you catch my drift. I don't feel like describing them in detail, so I'm not gonna, but I'm pretty sure they keep a smile on my face throughout the duration of the night. When I awake the next morning, I'm feeling more refreshed than I've been in a long time. I walk over to the bathroom and do my necessities, taking a shower, brushing my teeth, etc. When I go downstairs, I see that Tails is, like always, cooking breakfast. Eggs, pancakes, and bacon. He knows me too well. The perfect breakfast for the day after my birthday. When I say good morning to the orange kid, he says to me, Good morning, Sonic. Shadow left something by the front door sometime before we woke up. There's a letter attached to it. You should go see what it says, and now I haven't opened it. It's between you and Shadow if your name is in cursive on the front. When I look on the coffee table in the living room, there sits a bouquet of red roses. Of course they're roses. Shadow's always had a thing for roses. I don't know why he does, but I guess it shows he has a bit of a soft side for beautiful things like I do. Honestly, I don't care too much for roses. They're a pretty flower, but I like daisies more. Enough about flowers, though. My eyes find a red envelope attached to one of the roses. I tear the tape off of the rose and open the envelope, and only a small piece of paper is inside, with Shadow's neat handwriting on it. I've always admired his handwriting. It's tenfold better than mine, and yet it takes him less time. I don't know how he does it. Sonic, I have a couple questions for you. I know it's odd that I'm not asking you in person, but I want you to think about this before you come see me. We both know you tend not to think. 1. This one's simple. Does Tails accept us as a couple? 2. Have you ever been in a relationship before? 3. Do you honestly love me? I've never had anyone but Maria say that they love me. And with Maria, it was just a love between siblings. Meet me at the Echidna Temple in the Mystic Ruins. I'll be waiting, Sonic. Shadow. P.S. This letter was hard to write. It's just not me. It must seem unlike me to ask things like that, or even write you a letter at all. Shadow actually wrote me a letter? Man, he must be really nervous. I'm just glad he realizes that's unlike him. I fell in love with Shatsy for who he is, not to have someone who's all lovey-dovey. If I wanted that, I would have fallen for Amy. I can actually see him struggling to write this all down, especially the word love. I should go and talk to him. Oh, but the food Tails is cooking smells so delectable. Maybe I'll eat before I go. Shadow can't be too mad at me for that. I walk into the kitchen once again, and Tails has just finished dishing up the food. I exclaim as I sit down. Looks delicious, Tails, as always. He smiles and thanks me, and after a really good meal, I go out to meet Shadow. Of course, as promised, he's sitting on the steps of the temple. When he spots me, he stands up and walks over to me. Did you think? Is the first thing he asks. I smile and reply, yeah, I had time to think over breakfast. First things first, Tails kind of suspected it all along. He's perfectly fine with us. Although he doesn't readily show it, I can see slight relief in his eyes. He never shows much of anything, but I've had enough experience with him that I can read him like a book. Second, no, I haven't been in a relationship before. And third, to reinforce the point I'm going to make, I lean in and kiss him. He seems more than slightly surprised as he gasps. I don't think he expected me to actually say what I'm about to. When we break away, I continue. I really do love you, Shadow. I love you more than you can imagine. I can immediately tell how much that means to him, but he quickly gets his emotions under control. Thank you, Sonic, is all he says. Sometimes I really wish he were more for showing his emotions, but when I smile at him, he ends up smiling back. Maybe this is the start of something new.